First homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, to Master Sakya Tsongkhong, to the 16th Dhamma King Kamapa, and Master Dupten Tarji. Homage to the Mintiety of the group practice this evening, Guru Padmasambhava. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, temple directors, disciples present here and over the webcast, and all be auspicious. And we have our guest of honors, the accountant to the Buddha Foundation, Dhamma Sister Teresa, and the wife of the chairman of the board for Overseas Credit Warranty Fund, Miss Vivian Wong, and Dr. Trong. So today we practice Guru Padmasambhava Dhamma practice as the main deity, and we can say that in the realm of the empty space, or in the past life, he was Grandmaster's teacher or guru. So in the realm of the empty space, or in the past life, he was Grandmaster's guru or teacher, and he had transmitted a lot of the fifth instructions or his inspiration and realizations hidden, which is like dharma, hidden for the future lives, so that the future generations would be able to continue to obtain Guru Padmasambhava's teachings. So the fifth instructions and this key formulas are also hidden inside the brain of Grandmaster Lu. Hidden in the brain of Grandmaster Lu. That's why I comprehend the Mahayoga, or the Great Yoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga. And these three yogas, we could say that the great completion Dharma practices in Tantrayana, they are considered to be the great completion practices. I secretly asked for Guru Padmasambhava's instructions, that Guru Padmasambhava in Tibet also experienced a lot of adversities. He was being chased away, and by the king of Tibet of that time, the ministers of the King Trisong Deshan chased him away, 25 ministers, and he also had to suffer lots of slanders and criticisms and discriminations. And Guru Padmasambhava's spiritual cultivation in Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. So the caves where he cultivated exist in Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. So actually, he was running away in his spiritual cultivation. So any time he encountered a problem, he ran away and then found a different cave to continue to cultivate. And there was a very famous spiritual place where he gathered all of his disciples to practice together, is in the place called Qingpu. So there were many of his disciples practicing together with him. So when you see Guru Padmasambhava's cultivation and his lives in his physical body, you would know that he also suffered a lot. He was born out of a lotus blossom with no father nor mother. So that's why he was also a lotus youth, a lotus born. He was born out of a lotus, as you know. That's why he was called Guru Padmasambhava, or the lotus born, or the ocean born. Actually, the ocean is not the ocean, but it's a big lake, and they think of it as an ocean. It's called the Dalai Kershao Lake, and a lake which have lots of lotus, and he was born out of the lotus. That's why his Vajra name is the ocean-born Vajra, Hai Seng Jingang. And as you know, Guru Padmasambhava is the body, mind, and speech of Sakyamuni Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, and Kuan Yin or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So it's a combination, a combined transformation body of these three deities. And his mantra, there is the She character. That's the mantra. And the She is his origin. And his origin is Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha. She is Amitabha, the mantra for Amitabha. That's the mantra for Guru Padmasambhava, the short mantra. The short mantra is Om Pecha Padma Hum, very short. That's the short mantra for Guru Padmasambhava. So in the past, Grandmaster was the disciple of Guru Padmasambhava. And now, I remember in my out-of-body travel, I was brought by Guru Padmasambhava to go to a cave where he cultivated. It was a very ancient cemetery, and in this cave, Grandmaster was conferred empowerments for the 500 deities, for the martial and the culture, and he was eaten from his mouth and was born from his secret chakra. And Guru Padmasambhava emit light to bathe, to cover Grandmaster Lu, two kinds of empowerments. And he took out from my brain what was hidden in my brain from the past, the dharma. That's why I comprehend Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga, which is the 9 stages of the great completion of the rat sect or Nyingmapa. Mahayoga includes 3 stages, Anu Yoga includes 3 stages, and Ati Yoga also includes 3 stages. And 9 or 8 the Vajra Herukas, like the Purba, Dorje Purba, Vajakilaya. Guru Padmasambhava entered into Dorje Purba and transformed to become Vajra or Guru Jilaya. That's the Dorje Purba of Guru Padmasambhava, or Padmasambhava's Kilaya. And Shingamukha also, Vajra Yogini also, or Vajravarahi also. So those holding a kachanka, which is a staff with 3 skulls. There are many deities in Tantrayana who are holding kachanka. Vajra Yogini were holding kachanka. Guru Padmasambhava holding kachanka. They are all his disciples. And the Dharma seat of Grand Master, that's in the Tantric order, behind it there was kachanka. I don't remember which disciple offered it to me. That was the symbol of Guru Padmasambhava, is the kachanka. That his arm is clenching on the kachanka. And kachanka, Vajra Yogini, is also one of his manifestation. One is holding Kapala, and the other one is holding scepter. And his Vajra name is Ocean-born Vajra. So Guru Padmasambhava means the great master, the great guru who was born out of a lotus in the great ocean. So that's also a lotus youth. So master is the same as youth. So born out of a lotus, the guru who were born out of a lotus, that's the same as Padma Kumara, or the lotus youth. So you can say that the founder of Tantric Buddhism is Padma Kumara. So many people don't know how could Padma Kumara exist, but Padmasambhava is Padma Kumara. So Guru is Bodhisattva, and youth is someone innocent. That's why they call the youth. And Bodhisattva is also very innocent. So Guru, Bodhisattva, youth, they're all the same. So that's the relevance. And Grandmaster was his disciple before. Because my name is Ling Shen, which is also lotus born. Just the difference is the blossom, lotus blossom born and lotus born. And he hid a lot of the terma in my brain. And this is the memories for many past lives. So that's my affinity or connection with Guru Padmasambhava. It's truly very deep. I went to a cave in Nepal that was brought by Guru Padmasambhava. I flew in the sky and I saw it very clearly. The houses in Nepal, the mountains around it, the houses, I saw them very clearly. It's not something that I created in my imagination, but this was true. That's why I told you all. So Guru Padmasambhava is truly precious because he came from Amitabha Buddha. And the She character or 6 syllable, because this She character It's the symbol from Amitabha Buddha. They are all from Amitabha Buddha. That's the symbol. So that's why he is this mantra, and the She means he's from Amitabha Buddha. And Amitabha Buddha is the chief of the Lotus division. And Kuan Yin and Mahastama, they all belong to the Lotus division. So Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva, Amitabha Buddha, and Mahastama, they all also Padma Kumaras. Only that you don't know. They criticize Padma Kumara and they say, how come in the sutras there are no Padma Kumaras? But the main deity of the Lotus division, Amitabha Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and Mahastama Bodhisattva, they are all Padma Kumaras or Lotus youth. So you read in the Trubhuda News today, in the Sunway Mountain, the cave Chien Ho, it's where Padma Kumara appeared, manifested to show to that monk. And the whole place was luminous with light, and there many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas appeared, and Padma Kumara told him, and he thought that he had seen the miracles and the auspicious light, that thousands of this auspiciousness and lights, and he wanted to build a temple there. But Padma Kumara told him, there's no need to build a temple. You can just dig a cave on this mountain, and then you enshrine all the deities. And then the following monk continued, and all the people there and the kings together built this cave, and it became Donghuang. And in each of the caves there was Padma Kumara, because it was Padma Kumara who instructed the monk to build it. So that's why in each of the caves in Donghuang you can see Padma Kumara. So how could you say there is no Padma Kumara? There are too many of them. There are innumerable. So Guru Padmasambhava was truly Padma Kumara, the Guru who was born out of the lotus blossom, and also the youth that was born from the lotus, and he was born from the ocean, from the lotus of the ocean. So now we have resolved this problem. I didn't want to say it before, but I was being pressured, and finally I had no way. So Guru Padmasambhava, where did he come from? He was born from a lotus blossom. He had no father, no mother, and then there was a king, followed the admonition, and then carried this a baby back, and he became a prince. And Guru Padmasambhava had the guru, is the Sri Singha. That's also means the auspicious lion. At that time when we were in Tibet, Guru Padmasambhava and King Trisong Detchen and another master, and the king wanted to study Tantric Buddhism, and Guru Padmasambhava did not want to show his tantric dharma practices to show to the king. So instead, the king sent five people with strong spiritual roots to go to India to learn, to study from Sri Singha. The king sent 2 to 3 times. And India, they are very inclusive. They didn't want to spread it to Tibet. So they had to learn in secret. And they left secretly. So there were several high adepts or Mahasiddhas who came back to Tibet. And that's how it started, that this Mahasiddha started to spread Tantrayana in Tibet. And Guru Padmasambhava helped secretly. Because at that time, in Tibet, there was the Bon religion. So Guru Padmasambhava could not make a commotion in spreading Tantrayana because he was being ostracized and being chastised and being chased away. That's why he went to many different places to continue to cultivate. And Sri Singha was of Han origin, or Chinese Han origin, in India. That was very special. So in Tibet, there was also Zen Buddhism. The fact why Zen Buddhism exists in Tibet is because of Sri Singha. And who is the Sri Singha? For the time being, I will keep it secret. There are lots of secrets in my brain. They're all in my brain. Those who don't understand histories of Tibet or India would be unable to talk about this. And Sri Singha was not mentioned in history. He went to India when did he gain the Buddha Dharma? Nobody knew. Now we will continue to talk about Hevajra's 3 meditations. The third sensation, which is the third meditation, is when the Han character, light drops, is descending. This Han, there are 4 stages in the descending of Han, from the crown chakra to the throat chakra, to the heart chakra, to the navel chakra, to the secret chakra, and then being lifted up. When it reaches at the throat chakra, there's the initial bliss. When it reaches the heart chakra, it's the superior bliss. When it reaches the navel chakra, it's the supreme bliss. And when it reaches the secret chakra, it's the innate or ultimate bliss. And then when you're lifting it up, then it is the 4 emptiness. That's what's called the 4 bliss and 4 emptiness. And when the inner fire touched the Han character, then the light drops will be able to descend. So when it descends, it would generate great bliss that I have mentioned before, something that we cannot, it's beyond words. And generate the dual sensation of great bliss and empty nature. So when the great bliss and the empty nature are blending really well, when a cultivator in their cultivation follow the great bliss and empty nature merging, this generates a meditation that relies on the light drops in a fire harmonizing really well, equally. How could it generate meditation? Because you rely on the sensation of the great bliss and the sensation of the empty nature and the merging of the two, and generate the ultimate, the highest kind of meditation. Like the water blending with water, like the oil entering into oil, and then out of the water, fire appears, or water appears out of fire. So, in the Transcendental Power Sutra, Sutra of the Transcendental Power, it mentioned that in the spiritual cultivation, sometimes the lower body would generate water and the upper body generate fire, or vice versa. The lower body generate fire and the upper body generate water. So in Transcendental Power, sometimes he could generate water or fire out of water, or water out of fire. So from this kind of meditation, one attains the sensation of universal realization, which is Bodhisattva, and wonderful realization, which is Buddha. So you would gain such a sensation. And that kind of sensation is really extraordinary. I often said, when we explain the three heavenly realms, the realm of desire, the realm of form, and the realm of no form, I often said that the realm of desire is extremely blissful. Heavens with extreme bliss, with great bliss. And the realm of form, it's with light, radiance. It has colors, very bright and radiant. And then the realm of no form, you enter into emptiness, empty nature. That's why you also call it the heavens of the four emptiness, four kinds of emptiness. So combining the realm of desire, the realm of form, and the realm of no form, you can enter into meditation, going beyond these three realms. And then you would attain the universal or equal realization and wonderful realization. And that kind of feeling or sensation is like death. It's about the same as death. You only leave a pilot fire, like the water heater that's filled with water, and you have the pilot fire, and if you don't ignite it, it stays the pilot fire. So it is cold, but it has the pilot fire with it. This pilot fire is the Buddha nature. When you meditate into the deepest state, in the most serene, just like water, your body is filled with water and with only a drop of Buddha nature left. It is about the same as death. If you blow on the fire, the Buddha nature is extinguished. Then the water will never get hot. There is no more temperature, and that is death. So meditation is very close to death, a state that's very close to death, but it is not death. Let me share this joke that only Taiwanese can understand because it will be in Taiwanese. I will not translate this. So this is a mixture of Taiwanese and Chinese. So, and a misunderstanding of the words. Meditation is very close or similar to death. It's on the boundary of death. You only have the Buddha nature left. The only difference is the Buddha nature. It will purify your body and mind, and you eliminate all the habitual tendencies. Because living in this world, you have all the feelings and sensations. And once you meditate, your body is filled with water, and that is yin. Yin. Like in the hexagram, or the 8 trigrams. So, Qian is the 6 solid lines, and Kun is the 6 broken lines. But meditation is not the 6 broken lines, because 6 broken lines is death. The last one is connected. The last line is connected. The first 5 lines are broken, and the last line is connected. That's the state of meditation, where you have the pilot fire, and the rest is cold. And your breathing is very fine, and your temperature is very weak, very soft, and you don't need much nutrition. It's very close to hibernation. If you learn how to hibernate, in the whole winter you can sit there without moving. And the breathing is very weak, and you only have pilot fire left. And then in the springtime, the lines get connected and you become alive again. So that's the state of meditation. It's like the water that it would let all settle, and it would eliminate all desires. So the best way to eliminate desires is meditation. And the best method to eliminate all the habitual tendencies seeds is meditation. To purify your body is through meditation. And those who are in meditation, their mind is stable, centered. There will not be any fluctuations or any chaos or any anger, no temper. If you have fire in your heart or fluctuations in your mind, or if you have all the feelings and sensations, it would be impossible for you to meditate. You need to make purified all the qi, and then you only have the pilot of fire left, and that's meditation. There are many monks and nuns and spiritual cultivators learned how to meditate, but they don't know the concept. they still sit there even when they think all the time. And they sit until their legs are numb and very discomfort. But actually in meditation you don't have any feeling. You don't even feel the numbness or the soreness. You just feel very pure, very comfortable. Or whether you rely on the meditation of great bliss or emptiness, or the light radiance. If you empty everything, of course, naturally you enter into meditation. If you keep thinking about wanting to harm others, to scold others, to cheat, to mistreat others, how could you enter into meditation? It's impossible. You have to have a tranquility and serenity, that your mind and your heart is calm and your chi is smooth. Only then you would be able to enter into meditation. If you talk about meditation and yet you have the fire of anger, that's not meditation, that's herukas. Herukas have the fire of anger. They are not called bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas would lower their eyes, but herukas would be like this. Very different. The wrathful herukas are flaring. Buddhas and bodhisattvas always lower their gaze, compassionate toward all beings, and the herukas are fierce to subjugate or subdue the four maras. So these three kinds of meditations are reliance. Because when you are experiencing great bliss, it's truly blissful, it's tingling and soothing, and then you enter into meditation and you rely on the light and radiance. Once you're purified, the light would appear, lots of light to bless you, then you enter into meditation. Or you rely on the empty nature, that you reach the extreme of serenity and you only have the Buddha nature left, then that would be a true meditation. This is the only way you can enter into meditation. Like the angry herukas, they would walk like this, with many hands and many legs, and they would spew the fire of anger, very violent, like Akalanata, holding the precious sword. Is it left hand or right hand? Right hand, holding the precious sword, with angry face. Because to subdue the four maras. So he's the supporter and protector of the Buddhas. So the herukas are the protectors of the Buddhas. So that's the theory. I personally profoundly understand that the true understanding of the mind of Zen Buddhism is very important. That's enlightenment. Once you gain enlightenment, you would cut off all the afflictions. Only when you gain enlightenment, you can cut off the afflictions. The reason why I can still live like this today is because I have been enlightened. Because there will not be enough even if we have 100 Sangyen Lus committing suicide because of all that's happened. My grandfather is the Penghu Si. So from Pai Sa, you take the bridge, you would arrive at Si. last time I returned to Penghu, CE. And the people of CE, I went to the old street there, and the people of CE said that you are Seng Yen Lu, and your father is Lu Ersun, and your grandfather is Lu Chang. And I said, how would you know? Everyone would know Seng Yen Lu. So the old town, the old part of the CE, they all said, oh, Seng Yen Lu, you come back. And in the business world of Taiwan, there was also another person from CE. It's called what? Tai Wen-zhen. And he gained a PhD degree. And then he was said in the media that because you give money and you are in good relation with the dean of that college and donated money to build the auditorium, and then you went to class for a few days, and then the dean gave you PhD. And when Pai Wen-zhen heard that in the media, the fire of delusion flared up, and it's impossible to explain. It's in all the media, and he couldn't explain. He was a famous businessman, very wealthy one, and then he flew and returned to Penghu and took a taxi to the bridge and then sent off the taxi because the place that he liked most is the Penghu Bridge, and then he jumped off the bridge. And he jumped into the ocean below the Penghu Bridge and he died. If it is like Seng Yen Lu, if every time I was being slandered and criticized by the media, there will not be enough even if they were 100 Seng Yen Lus jumping off the bridge. But the fact that Seng Yen Lu is still living happily is because of this true understanding of the mind. Because once you gain this true understanding of the mind, you can cut off all the afflictions. You will still sleep well at night and eat well at every meals. I would not have any problem that I cannot eat or cannot sleep. Maybe only when I was falling in love. I often said, you are my moon. Even in a cloudy day, you are my moon. There are no stars in the sky, but you are the stars. You know, the rain, the rain showers, that's the tears of my longings for you. Master is almost 70. Now is in romance with the 2-year-old girl, and I would say all these poetic poems to her, and she seems to understand. The feelings of having a romance is really beautiful. Sometimes thinking about it, I would fall off bed in the middle of the night. So I'm very happy. Why? Because I have gain enlightenment, I have the true understanding of the mind. So ask Master Lian Ning, he really can cut off his afflictions. Why? Because once you gain the enlightenment, you can cut off the afflictions. Those who have not gained enlightenment, they would be held in bondage by their names or reputations, like Bai Wen-sun. He has a lot of money and high status, and he is a PhD. It says that he was being criticized in the media that the PhD was being bought by money, and he jumped off the bridge. But for me, not only such thing, it's even worse and more. Then even 100 Sengyen Lus will not be enough to commit suicide. And because they are not enough, that's why I don't jump off the bridge. Actually, please do not misunderstand this enlightenment, because enlightenment is only one, and this one can never be, cannot be destructed. It's always, it's forever, it's eternal, it's unbreakable. And Sakyamuni Buddha, once he gains enlightenment on this, it's the supreme and perfect enlightenment. But once you gain this enlightenment, your conduct and behavior has to comply with this enlightenment. You cannot just go in tangents. And Wang, this is also the play of word of Chinese. Because inni also means the mud for the seal to make like your fingerprinting, but also mean Indonesia. So enlightenment is not something to be misunderstood or to be taken lightly. Enlightenment is eternal. And once you gain enlightenment, it stays enlightenment forever. So don't misunderstand that when I say, oh, this one is enlightenment today and tomorrow that one is enlightenment. No. Actually, inni also means that red, smart, where you can make the seal. It's called inni. But inni also means Indonesia, the country Indonesia, Jakarta. So once you make that kind of seal, you would know what that thing is. So you cannot mistake it. Because once you gain enlightenment, really you can put down anything. You can let go anything. And because you have let go, then you will not commit suicide. Because you haven't let go, that's why you commit suicide. A lot of people suffer from depression. Why? Because they still have afflictions that they cannot let go. That's why they gain depression. And this is the symptoms. This is the expression, the most severe expression of depression. And the manic depression is jumping all the time. They're always active, overactive. They want to pick one thing. And that's the manic. That's the initial state of manic depression. The overactive. That's not meditation. Depression is not meditation. Meditation is not depression. I myself have written many books on Zen koans and gain enlightenment through contemplation on Zen koans. And from then on, one comprehends the real truth of a human life. And only by comprehending the real truth of human lives that one can truly see through it all and let go. And after one gains true understanding of the mind, one has to put it into real practice to realize the enlightenment. It is not the case that now that you know the enlightenment of Sakyamuni Buddha under the Bodhi tree, once you know, if you don't put it into, we don't apply it, you don't put it into practice, you're still in bondage. You're still held in bondage by your body, your family, your career, your colleagues. If you go to the office and the colleagues don't like you, and when they saw you, they like this, and then when you see that, you feel uncomfortable. I'm kind to you, and you're like that. Every time they see you, and they would go like that. And then you would get angry, and you feel like you want to hit him. So that's the expression when you see them. And then you feel really displeased, really upset. And then for 3 days you think about it. And then you cannot resolve it. But if you have true understanding of the mind, you have gained the enlightenment, you have to use your enlightenment to resolve your problems, your afflictions. You have to resolve them. So the teacher asked the student, oh, for the past year, how come you only have reds in your scorecards? And the student said, well, red is auspicious for Chinese. The reds are auspicious. That's also a marvelous answer. And for us, the monks and the nuns, we have to complete our tasks every day, our cultivation duties. Like what Grandmaster would write his books, paint his paintings, do his practices, and give Dharma teachings, the right Buddha Dharma for everyone to hear. That's my job. And if I do my jobs well, I wouldn't care about anything else. Of course, those who suffer is Simu, because Simu is in charge of a lot of things. So after enlightenment, you have to put it into practice. You cannot still be afflicted. When there are problems you encounter, you still will not be afflicted. So that's putting it into real practice. Of course, there are problems around. A lot of people humiliate you, insult you, criticize you, slander you, whatever. That's no big deal. It doesn't matter. It will not enter into my body. It's unrelated to me. It's totally unrelated, irrelevant to me. So if you realize your enlightenment, all these things are not important at all. It's just like when the wind blow on the leaves fall on you or in front of you, you still stay unaffected. So this kind of complete and perfect enlightenment, it is called as if one has died and lives again. So it's okay even if one dies. Like Grandmaster has said, it's okay if Grandmaster dies. Even if I die tomorrow, it's fine. Completely fine. It doesn't matter. I have no regrets. I have been in romance. I have had my happiness. And I have traveled all over the world. And I have eaten all that can be eaten. I have drank. I have played. Been there, done that. So what else? What's left in this world? Everything. The best car was offered by Miss Haniva, Bentley 1999. It's still like new until now. It's already 13 years. I still drive it. Bentley is the best car of the world, the brother of Rolls-Royce. Bentley and Rolls-Royce are brothers. So I've driven the best car, and I've worn the best watch, the diamond Rolex, and also the best jewelries I have worn. And I have eaten the best food of the Leizang Temple cafeteria, and I have drank the best, like ginseng. A lot of people make offerings of ginseng that I could not finish. Master Lian Tze brought some ginseng to me today too. And you still want to offer me a diamond, remember? Diamonds are the most expensive things of the world. She wanted to give me something, and then I said, just the smallest thing. So what is the smallest thing? Of course, diamonds. I don't want too many carats. 10 carats is too heavy. 1 carat is too small. So maybe the middle between the two. So Master Lian Tze, she will be afflicted after this. Oh no, 5 carats. Then she would buy of the lowest grade. Grades A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D. Actually, when you say D grade in Chinese is the lowest, actually it's the highest grade. But it's okay, don't worry, it doesn't have to be the best. Even if it has some specs, and D grade is fine. So see, I have the best kinds of things. And I'm close to 70 already. So when you reach 60s, you're considered long life, initial long life, 70s, middle long life, and 80s, you're the long life. So I'm considered middle long life. That's not bad. Even if I die, it's fine. And all the material things I would leave on the world, in the world. And it would be used for charitable work. Diamonds, watch, cars, houses, they're all to be given in charitable work. It would be donated to the Seng Yen Lu Foundation, or to be donated for others. Because after you die, you don't need for any of this. After being cremated, we will be at the Rainbow Villa, Rainbow Lechang Temple, the columbarium there. And you can continue listening to my Dharma teaching there. And we can have party there, nightclub. And we dance and enjoy at nights. At nights we'll be together dancing, no problem. Because those with complete and perfect enlightenment, it's like one death and one life. It's no problem. Even when you are alive today and death tomorrow, no afflictions and no regrets whatsoever. And from then on, you would be able to apply the key formulas of entering into samadhi. Because when you have no afflictions, you would be able to enter into meditation. If you are afflicted, it's impossible to enter into samadhi. So the key formulas, strictly speaking, are nothing matters and nothing on my mind. That in this world, nothing matters. It's just a puppet show. It's just like a game of play. Look, president is the highest in the country, and another one comes, and then topple that, and that one becomes president, and the next one just become a common people. In America, it's like that. And this person is the president now, jumping and going all over the world, and everyone kiss butts to him. So kiss his butts because he's the president. So everybody kiss ass, and then whoa, one day he's toppled, and then the next one comes. So that's how life is, all ever changing. Look how many presidents of United States there have been. And when one is president, it looks very glorious. But afterwards, nothing. Just the names. And after they died, nothing left. Like Jefferson, Lincoln, Washington, they're all the famous presidents. And the rest, some of them are forgotten, and maybe they just become peddler. I heard there was a president and went to Taiwan and brought a secretary and doing business in Taiwan or mainland China. So the same for presidents or premiers, and toppled, another one toppled. So it's just like making a show, playing a game from the ancient time till now. Look at the dynasties, Tang, Yi, Sa, Xiang, Zhou, Qing, Han. Northern and Southern dynasties, and then Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing, all the dynasties in China. And then the People's Republic. That's the China history. They're all there. The smaller dynasty or countries are not even in there. At the most recent time, and those are the older times, dynasties. In one dynasty, there are many kings or emperors, and where are they now? They're all the same. They all return to emptiness. Even when you hate each other, always fight with each other. The Han Uti, Emperor of Han, Genghis Khan, and conquered the whole Europe almost, and now it's gone. Or Julius Caesar, Alex, and there's another great Tsar. That's all? One day, the mom and the 5-year-old son who are watching TVs together, and the film was about a mother giving birth, and the son asked the mom, "So were you also in pain when you give birth to me?" And the mom said yes. And the son was very grateful and hugged the mom. Mom, you're so smart. You give birth to a son, otherwise I would also suffer from the pain. So kids nowadays are very smart. The kids these days are very smart. Grandmaster also really likes Ping Er. And Ping Er is half forward and half submissive. And when she sees me, she would be very quiet. But when not under my gaze, she would be very lively. And she never declined when I kiss her. I have kissed her on the cheek for 68 times. Let me lose sleep at night, but I'm very happy.